Another day, another dollar, another Me Too accusation. This time against a legend. Somebody who's been, well, I don't know, necessarily out of the game, at least not at the peak of his powers in decades, okay? We're dealing with Aerosmith's Steven Tyler. You know, Steven Tyler, the guy with the mouth, not Mick Jagger, okay? The guy with, the funky mic stand, all the scarves, okay? Dude looks like a lady, but this chick, when she's making allegations, apparently she was a girl, not a lady. They were having love in an elevator, okay? She's a legend that Steven left her crying, but realistically, when you look at these allegations, she's coming across as crazy. I could go for days on this. I do like me some Aerosmith, by the way, even though it's been a second since I've actually listened to them. But come on, man. Okay, this guy was out here fucking all the way up and down the East Coast, all throughout the 70s, 80s, 90s, and even into the 2000s, okay? Chances are, I'm just going to take a wild guess on this one. This is probably some chick who thought that she was going to be the one for a fucking rock star, didn't end up panning out, and she was just biding her time, and then all of a sudden her last-ditch effort, in order to get any sort of payout on this, just decided to drop this because Me Too is apparently trying to make a comeback, just like Aerosmith in the 90s. Attaching themselves to Run DMC. I don't even like that cover of Walk This Way all that much. So with that, I'm just going to draw the line. Oh! But anyways, he's accused of SA by a former teen model. How old is she? Anyways, Oh, so apparently 50 years ago? Is that what we're dealing with? We're dealing with 50-year-ago allegations. Oh, Lord. A woman sued Steven Tyler for SA in New York court Thursday. Wow, was she inspired by E. Jean Carroll's harrowing tale of being treated like a six-pack by Donald Trump in a fucking Bloomingdale's? Get out of here. Jeanne Bellino, now 66. Fuck off. Alleged that Tyler groped her in a New York City phone booth without her consent when she was 17 years old. Oh my god. Bruh. In a phone booth in New York City in 1975. You remember, okay? Steven Tyler and Joe Perry used to hire a security guard, keeping cocaine handcuffed to their wrist in a suitcase, okay? Back before their renaissance in the early 90s, okay? Like, these guys were the Toxic Twins, okay? They made the antics of Motley Crue look like the antics of the Isley Brothers. Like, Christ almighty, man, what are we doing out here? So 1975, the boys from Boston were in New York City. I'm positively sure they finally got him this time. Steven Tyler is finally going to be held accountable for fucking all of those models and groupies way back in the cut. Bellino maintained that she met the Aerosmith frontman and the band through a friend after traveling to the city for a fashion show, according to court documents. Bellino had just signed with a modeling agency at the time. Bellino, the friend, Tyler, and other bandmates. Can you name them? It's been a fairly standard lineup, okay? It's been the most consistent rock and roll lineup throughout all of history. Can you name the rest of the guys that were there? They were all walking down 6th Avenue. So in 1975, yo, this bitch right here, Toys in the Attic just came out. Quite possibly one of, if not their biggest albums. Okay, you're telling me, with Sweet Emotion, fucking Walk This Way, tearing up the radio rock charts. You're just having a casual stroll with all of the hottest band in the fucking world at the time, walking down New York's 6th Avenue. Fuck you, you lying whore. And by the way, okay, not even like I like playing this game, I'm just simply stating the law. The age of consent in New York is 16, okay? Sorry, my mistake. I had to check that up. I just wanted to make sure on that one. It is 17, and even if they were going back to home base in Mass, it was 16. So her trying to say, I was the teenager at the time, you should have picked a better lie, but okay. As they walked, Bellino commented about the lyric, about a song lyric to Tyler. Oh, the complaint states, Tyler became visibly irritated that this bitch was talking to him, and then he decided to lay down the business right there in broad daylight, and nobody would do anything. I'm sure there's as fantastical of claims that are in there. Then suddenly Tyler grabbed Bellino by the hand and forced her into the phone booth. To what? tell her to call somebody who gave a fuck. Like, who cares, man? But yeah, I also seen this pop up again like a few months ago. But oh yeah, Steven Tyler, yeah, down there trolling young Trim at the age of 25. Steven Tyler, what, is pushing 70 now? So all these old bags are just coming out of the fucking woodwork. While holding her captive, Tyler stuck his tongue down her throat. Yeah, this is all precipitated by him looking annoyed by her just nitpicking some lyrics. Kind of a fucking weird approach, but it's a different type of game you can run, I guess. The 70s were different. And put his hands upon her body, her breasts, her buttocks, and her genitals, moving and removing clothing in broad daylight in a, like, how big? Okay, like, I'm old enough to remember phone booths, okay? Some of you young cats might not, but phone booths aren't very big. Even though Steven Tyler's kind of a wafy, drugged up fellow, and I'm sure that she probably wasn't necessarily, you know, the size of the modern woman today, there's still not a lot of room in those phone booths, okay? So if he's stripping her down and she doesn't want it, there's not a lot of room to make this negotiation successful. But yes, pinned her against the wall of the phone booth, mostly because you can't really do anything else if there's somebody else in the phone booth at the same time. According to the complaint, as Tyler was mauling and groping Bellino, he was humping her, pretending to have sex with Bellino. Others stood by outside the phone booth laughing, and a passerby watched and witnessed, and nobody said anything. But then when I managed to get the coke fiend off of me, I ran away, and then I found the local authorities. I told them my harrowing tale, and everybody clapped. Tyler's penis was erect, all right, and it was evident to her as he rubbed it against her that he was not wearing underwear and wearing thin pants. Well, he's a rock star after all. The complaint continues. That Bellino fought back and struggled to be free, but Tyler restrained her. A representative for Tyler just laughed at our comments and continued to say, when the fuck did this, in 1975? Yo, get the fuck out of here. That was probably the comment that they received. Tyler was previously sued by Julia Misley, who accused the singer-songwriter of sexual assault, sexual battery, and intentional infliction of emotional damage. How often do we see that in these fucking fake-ass accusations? I don't know. Maybe this did happen, but it took you just about 50 fucking years to come forward with this shit. Color me a little bit skeptical. Misley alleged that she met Tyler at the 1973 Aerosmith concert in Portland, Oregon, or Portland, Maine, for that matter, whatever makes my story more believable. Shortly before her after her 16th birthday. What's the age of consent in Oregon, ladies and gentlemen? 18 years old. It looks at least like this bitch did a little bit of homework. The 4-time Grammy Award nominee, well, before that, only their self-titled album would have been out at this point in time, but I still had some bangers on it, right? I still got everything pulled up. Might as well just go ahead and, and take a look, but I still don't think I was going to be all that believable regardless, but sure, a little event in Oregon, sure thing. Yeah, so, okay, right at the beginning of the year. Oh, yeah, this has Dream On it. Yeah, okay, sure, yeah, bitch, take the fucking advice. And the lawsuit stated that Tyler took Misley back to his hotel room where they discussed her age and her troubled home life. Okay, that's about the only thing that I believe in this so far. She alleged that he performed various acts of criminal sexual conduct upon her. Well, that would be everything sexual with a minor in Oregon specifically. And then sent her home in a taxi the following morning. Hey, he's a nice guy. Took care of your fare afterwards, apparently. The lawsuit also included direct quotes from Tyler's 2012 memoir, Does the Noise in My Head Bother You?, in which he wrote that it almost took a teen bride, though he did not name the teenager. Yeah, almost took a teen bride, and that could also mean 16, it could also mean 18, 19, you fucking solipsistic bitch. He also wrote that her parents fell in love with me, signed a paper over to me to have custody, so I wouldn't get arrested if I took her out of state. That's a man act, crossing state lines. I took her on tour with me. So this bitch was out here alleging that she had a troubled home life, indicating that she doesn't exactly have the closest relationship with her parents. And he's out there telling a story about having a good relationship with some parents. Okay. Misley said she was powerless to resist the musician's power, fame, and substantial financial ability. Yo, man, he just had one album at this time that you're making all of these allegations in 73. And yeah, it was on a rocket ship towards the stars. Obviously, Aerosmith is, well, Aerosmith at the end of the day. And yeah, their first album was a banger, and the best was yet to come, but I mean, come on, man. According to the lawsuit, Tyler coerced and persuaded plaintiff into believing that it was a romantic love affair. Aw, man, Steven Tyler was running Loverboy game all the way back in the 70s. But these bitches were just, they weren't powerful enough to resist his irresistible charm. Fuck, they've only been allowed to vote for 70 years at that point in time. 50 years, they fortunately, we need to, go ahead and respect the 19th Amendment, okay? They've only been allowed to vote since 1919, 1909. Regardless, these bitches still complain about everything. In the response to Misley's lawsuit, Tyler said that he and Misley, whom he's known as Julia Holcomb, had a consensual sexual relationship, despite the woman being 16 years old at the time. Yeah, sorry, Steve. Thanks to statute of limitations, you can't be held responsible or you can't be held liable for that. Yeah, there's no close age exemption on that one. It's going to be tough to prove. Musician also said that he had immunity due to the legal guardian of Misley at the time of the relationship. Okay, well, that could be a little bit different then. But what happened to that lawsuit right there? Anything end up happening with that? Anything gonna end up happening with this bitch who's also alleging that, oh my god, I got held, he used a phone book to pin me up against the wall in the New York City 6th Avenue phone booth days after Toys in the Attic got released. Like, they wouldn't be stopped perpetually by adoring, screaming fans. Unfucking believable, man. The lengths to which these bitches will just go in order to try to secure the bag at any given point in time, it's unfucking believable. Until these false accusations are held accountable, they will continue to come. And I will continue to point them out, mostly because, well, somebody's got to, and they just completely and totally continue to be astronomically absurd. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.